All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's time. Finally, again,
Here we
live
are.
trading room with the 5ers. Time to make
Yes.
some money. We got Alex.
Yes, indeed.
Alex in the house. We got Victor in the
Let's
house.
go.
How's it
That's
going,
how we're
guys?
doing it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Great stuff, great stuff.
I've got to say, what has happened since I've been gone? Where are the music effects? Where are the effects? Where's the craziness? Where's the UFC craziness?
Yeah,
Let
me went away with you, but you're free to. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, we should probably start doing that again. But I want some new effects. I want some new sound effects. We should. You know what we should do? We should take like clips from our live stream when we say stuff, and then like run that.
Oh god, we got to remind people of some of the rubbish that we talk about on our streams.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. Like stop loss gets hit, and then someone in the background says like, "I shouldn't have hit. You shouldn't have placed that stop loss order there." Some stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
I don't know, man. Are we that funny though? Like sound effects has to have
I think
good effect though.
I think we are pretty funny. As people, I think we're hosts. We're pretty funny people. I think we're pretty interesting, funny people. We just talk about
the problem is,
all day.
I mean, I do think I'm very I'm very funny. But,
you are funny. I do think you're very funny.
Oh, thank you. I also think I'm very funny. Victor, I think you're quite funny as well. Like, what do you guys think in the comments? Do you think?
The thing is, if I ask myself, of course, I think I'm extremely funny, but that's not the point. The point is what other people think how funny I am, and usually they don't share the same.
I think you're extremely funny as well. I think we are the three.
Some of the most funniest three people that are not comedians, that are not non-comedians though. There are some really funny people, but we're not getting paid to be funny. I was gonna, so
he says he likes how Victor laughs, but how do you know when Victor laughs? Because Victor's got his special mask on. So how do you know when Victor's laughing? He could be
be a sound effect.
Might be a sound
effect.
Right.
Today I got I've made some changes in my life, guys. I decided to get up 1 hour earlier and do some exercise.
Good.
So I and at the same day doing that, I decided to start intermittent fasting because I didn't eat any breakfast. So I went to bed early, didn't fall asleep since like maybe 2 or 3 hours after. So obviously quite late. Woke up way too early, like 5. Didn't have any breakfast, and I feel really bad today. Like I got this bad headache. I'm like, I'm not sure. Hopefully, I'm able to stay committed to this new routine of mine because I like the idea. I like the idea of getting up early, working out.
Can I ask a very important question though? Does this intermittent fasting, does this add to your strike rate? Does this make you a better trader?
Yeah, it definitely does.
How many points has it added to your strike rate though? Because if it's not like at least 5%, then not worth it.
Well, I guess time will tell because I haven't taken any trade. Okay, I'm in a trade right now. We don't have to show that one though. Like I have to actually remove it from the screen before opening it up.
But the question is, why are you doing it? I think.
Okay, I can show it now because it's bouncing. We can show it later. Why? You had a question. Why? Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it to improve your trading, or just in general to be more productive? Other things?
He doesn't need to improve his trading. He's got like a 90% strike rate at the moment. I've never heard somebody be upset about a 10 win streak.
Yeah, dude. The problem is I'm making so much money. I'm eating so much good food. I'm basically becoming fat, and I want to try not to. I want to figure out how to burn some calories. Which waking up 1 hour earlier, doing some workout, and not eating is I've heard that it's a good process of losing some weight, especially the not eating part. But honestly though, like not like skipping breakfast, not eating for yeah, first world problems, sure, but I mean it's still a problem. But skipping breakfast, not eating for 16 hours. I've done that in the past, and it's when when you wake up in the morning, and it's like you got two types of tiredness, right? You got the tired in a good way, and then tired in a bad way. And when you're tired in a bad way, it just feels like you're groggy. It's like you have that brain fog, you can barely think. And then you're tired in a good way, where it's like you feel like you need more sleep, but you're giving your body a challenge, right? You're energized, but you feel like you need a little bit more sleep. And I want to be tired in a good way, and a little bit less sleep, and being doing that fasting, it really helps with the energy levels. Like I feel energized, but then when it's like 6 or 7 in the evening, I'm dead. I'm dead. But that's good, because that's after the live trading room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned though something. I heard you mention that you didn't sleep last night very well, right? That could be the reason why you're feeling not so good, and
maybe,
why you have that.
Maybe
that could be the reason, and and it's not necessarily the intermittent fasting, because intermittent fasting shouldn't be giving you headaches.
Yeah, maybe we should change from a trading show to a biohacking show.
This trade right here is giving me a headache. Alex is now, I can see in his face, he's thinking, what are these guys talking about? What are they doing? Like, I've been gone for a couple of months, and now they're just talking about food.
I thought we were going to talk about the GU trade that just doesn't want to do anything. It just wants to range.
Yeah, open up your charts. Let's go.
You want to start off with my crappy little trade? So
let's go.
I shorted earlier, quite early on into the day, and all it's done is range. So the reasons why I shorted, especially on this week, let's have a look at the weekly. We're actually coming onto a little bit of a weekly support, where this it's already come down. It's touched that 21 EMA. It's obviously touched the the top and tested the top of these candles. It's left a wick, which is a nice little range, and there we go. We've got a candle that looks like it's going to fill that range. So after seeing that, that's the reasons why I went down onto the lower time frame. Let's have a look at the daily quickly. Let's get rid of this. We've had a break under the EMAs. We've got the 21 EMA, which is a slower EMA, pointing downwards. So momentum is pointing to the down. We've also got a big gap in, the way that I look at EMAs is when there's a gap into the EMAs, it's like I'm looking for price to fill in these gaps, and that's what I'm doing with this trade. So I'm looking for price to fill in this gap. This is on a daily chart, so it's probably going to take quite a long time if it even is going to fill in this gap. But all I want is it just to make a continuation down to break down this lower high, because we've got, we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we've actually broken and we've made a lower low. So is this going to be, if we want to see, obviously, for a continuation downwards, we just want to see maybe a little bit of a push down, maybe price to push back up to make a lower high and then come back down. Maybe that's what we're going to see from GU on a macro kind of time frame. I don't know, don't really care. All I'm looking for is just that little trade, which is to come down and just take down this little area here. That's the plan.
What's the macro? What's the macro?
Can I say something? Like, I really want to say something. Alex, you said that you were swing trading.
I am.
How is that a swing trade though?
That's a swing trade.
But your TP is like right below.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay, so you move TP because you don't think it's going to move lower.
you know, it's 27 points. It's not much, obviously, for GU. You can do that.
Okay.
Do that in a day. But the whole idea is taken from a higher time frame. It wasn't taken on, let's say, you know, a 5 minute. You know, I would used to go onto a 5 minute, and I'd probably been out of this already. You know, I would have, let's say, the trade on the 5 minute would probably been like taken from there to there, getting at the 50. I'd probably still be in this trade right now, but it wouldn't be. I wouldn't have taken it from a. You know what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't have taken it with an outlook of
definitely.
My other trades on crypto are doing really well. Obviously, I have a swing on Pepe that's been open for about a week right now and up around about 11%. And we've also got on DOT as well. Obviously, we don't trade those, so we're not going to show those on screen, but those are also really doing really well. But that is it. What about you guys? What you're looking at?
Well,
before we
Victor,
go on the other graphs, what's the macro outlook for GU, Alex? At least what was the scenario you were considering that could happen, but you didn't. It didn't matter to your setup, but you still said, what are you looking at?
Well, look, we still obviously we've had that higher high. We've been in in a range for best of this macro range for quite a long time. If we look at the weekly, it is coming to support, but if it comes and breaks down under here and closes underneath this candle, I would say that's a breaking structure, clear breaking structure. And for me, I'd just look now just for a change in trend, because all of this is higher highs, higher lows on a macro level. It's, coming strength for the pound and weakness for the dollar. If we get a change in trend, then, that could be something that would be really nice to trade. And for a change in trend, we need, a confirmation that a higher low is put in, and then we can just, change it up a little bit. That's what I'm looking at. Obviously here, you see we've got really strong candle, and the volume is coming less and less and less in these candles, approaching an area of possible support. So we're just playing it day by day, but I'm not closing out like the possibility of it closing under these candles right here. We have quite a body close, and then for maybe a higher low, and then continuation for a trend chase lower low. That's
what I see is looking at your screen at the other one. You had a little zoomed out. Yeah, that one. Actually, on the weekly, I think it was. Yeah. When I see that, what I see is the whatever EMA that is that the 20, the 50? I think the blue one. Yeah, it's been using it as a dynamic support for the last couple of swing lows. So we're getting into that same area again, and it makes sense that everyone else is looking to this. So this is going to be the question: is this going to be repeating the same pattern, using that EMA as a dynamic support or not? And so it's going to be interesting what will on the lower time frame. This is the weekly, of course, but how is the daily? Of course, the 4 hours before, is it reversing, slowing down? And it looks like it is trying to slow down. So that's the question for the coming sessions, I think, perhaps even the coming week or two. Is it going to reverse from here and continue the uptrend or not?
Agreed. I think having just an overview of what it looks like at the moment. Also, don't forget you've got the elections coming up in November as well, which can have a massive effect. 2 seconds. I'm going to pass it over. I just got a call. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, while we wait on that, I'm just going to show you guys something quickly here. I'm not sure if you are aware, people watching here, but we do have an event coming up, and I'm pretty sure that you've seen a little teaser here and there, and I have a little teaser video here that I want to
salespeople.
What's the salespeople? You should have
trying to sell me a gym membership. And I told them I've been away for a long time. I've been eating lots of cookies. And now I've got people calling me on constantly trying to sell me a gym membership. So my own fault.
It does look like you haven't been to the gym for a while. You know, gotta get that.
I'm gonna start intermittent fasting.
Good, exactly.
But what? Yeah, I know you're gonna do your little thing.
Let me run this. Yep, let's go.
Okay, that was awful. That's what we're doing.
I love the music.
I do. I love it too.
It's a lot of expert traders. That's a cheap elevation right there. All right.
Nice.
Let me know what you can expect in the not so distant future. Can I show you guys something, or was Alex not done?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to show you guys something. Okay, so GU. Now I do understand why I kind of want to short. The only problem I'm having here with GU is I'm getting mixed signals. So I'm getting signal to go short, and one of those signals, I think the most obvious one is if I remove that one, you can see on the EMA indicator here. Now this indicator is basically based on having rejections of the 20 and 50 EMA, and then it's based on a engulfing candles. And here you can see that we do have the break and retest right there. So we have a break and retest, comes into the reload zone, forms a rounded top. Very, very good short right here. And you don't even need the indicator. We can use, just like this, you see that it's, break and retest of a level, add the fibs, and you see that it comes straight into the reload zone right here. And it's a perfect rejection. Now, the problem I'm seeing is if I go to the daily, this is to me an area where I'm expecting either a new continuation of this downtrend, but I'm watching this and I'm thinking this is only the first sign of a potential shift in the overall uptrend. And the overall trend I'm talking about is this one right here. So what I'm seeing here is it haven't really broken down. I'm looking at equal lows right here, and it's a fairly strong support. So what I'm looking for is actually not a short. I'm actually looking for confirmation of a long, and what I'm looking for is that lower low, lower high, and then I'm looking for higher low, and that. So I'm looking for this structure, and I want to go long based on this. If we get that breakout, of course, I would go long based on this. See this level being used as support, and as a swing trade, I do see that there's a lot of area, like a big area here to be filled. Usually, when we have a strong move like this straight into support, we're going to see some type of reaction. We already have a reaction though, so maybe this is the reaction. But I do see that there's a good short setup, but I think it's more likely to see a move to the upside. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm currently long GBP CHF and not GU. You can see, let me show this. So on the bigger picture, we have I would say that we have some sort of range here. And we broke range lows here, retested range lows here, but then we reclaimed the range lows and retested this level. So what I'm seeing now is a uptrend on the daily with a break and retest of this level on the daily, and we have 4-hour uptrend, 4-hour downtrend, 4-hour uptrend, and 4-hour downtrend within every of these daily moves. And if we zoom into the 4-hour, we have a very good breakup structure here, where you have this structure. Then this is where you create higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, and that's where I got in on Friday, and I'm expecting a move like that. And one of the reasons I went long here is because also GBP USD is at that major support. And if we go to the weekly, you will see it's even more obvious. If we create this level based on the weekly, you see that this is not the level where I want to go short. I'm more expecting a move up here. A reaction like that is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
Yeah, it depends obviously how long you're looking to trade, where your take profits are, and where everything is. But again, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Let's just trade what we're seeing at the moment. It just looks like it's wants to come down a little bit more, to be honest. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it'll have quite a fast push up, and then we'll see.
Let me just answer this one quickly. James, your brother has most likely said something that we don't like, so we muted your brother, or we've kicked him, or perhaps even banned him. So I want your brother to think about what he's done, and maybe we'll unmute him. Okay.
First, say what's your brother's name though, so we can check. Maybe
maybe write it out. See who's your brother. Like I don't mute people. Like there has to be something bad said for me to mute someone. So yeah.
With regards to gold, I know somebody just said, what's the thoughts on gold? Is it a short or is it going to come down? To be honest, until it breaks structure, everything that you're seeing is just higher highs, higher lows. Unless it breaks any kind of structure, I wouldn't even think about shorting gold, because if something's at all-time highs, it can keep going higher and higher and higher until it just until it comes down. You don't know when it's going to come down, and
crazy.
Yeah, so I wouldn't look at it just because it's an all-time high. Doesn't mean that you should be shorting it. You should only be shorting it if the chart is actually showing you should short it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I was going to say the same, not referring to gold necessarily, but on GU, because Jonatan, you're expecting, because it's coming into a area of demand, you're expecting a reversal here, that price will pop and go up from here. But besides the fact that looking to the left, it is a demand area, do you currently see buying coming to the market or not on GU?
Yeah. I mean, we have 2 days of bullish price action. The problem is though, like I see this as well. I have, I see this as well. So it's actually you have a very strong bearish candle on a daily, and it's looking at this, it's a break and retest. So it's basically broke support, and then it's a break and retest. So and I agree with the fact that, now you didn't say that, but probably thought about that, the idea that price action to the right is more important than to the left, right? And by using that idea, then if you go to the 4-hour, this is a 4-hour downtrend. This is a break and retest. It looks like it's wants to continue to the downside, and that's why also I said a short like this might actually be valid down to maybe these lows. But what it doesn't enable me to short this, because of the fact that we are at that support area, but we might still see a move like this. Okay, so depending on where the target is, and looking at Alex short, both of these ideas can be valid at the same time. It might hit Alex's TP and then reverse.
Yes, I think the key thing is what's to the left. What is to the left is very important, right? So you understand what kind of area it is. And also what is to the right side of the chart. So what is the current price action? But the best setups are when those two things are aligned, where the price is getting into that demand area and is actually showing, I will call it confirmation. It'll show you what you were expecting because of what you saw to the left. And that's what I'm still missing on GU. Maybe I can show my screen to show everyone what is it. Yeah, let me check. Let me check this. I'm going to show this is this is GU, of course. And if we go to the daily into higher time frames, what we see is that yes, we are in a place where, based on the weekly, right? It's on the weekly, it hasn't broken that area, right? It is in a very interesting area for a weekly time frame, right? It's a fresh order block, a fresh bullish order block. So me too, I'm expecting a possible pop from GU for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, and for either it starts this week or next week, I don't know. And you can also see what it did. Let me make this bigger. What it did after it squeezed that weekly order block, right? It was bought up quite nicely, right? And that's the bullishness that you saw on the lower time frames coming into the market. And if we look at the daily, I see the same thing, right? That you do. There has been some buying, and this is what made that created that wick on the weekly. But the thing is, I want for this to work on the. Let me get this. Not that. Okay, so the thing is, if I want to, I don't see the buying breaking any structures yet on the lower time frame. On the daily, to me, it is still bearish. So I'm still waiting for the daily to switch character, because to me that this area, that bearish order block on the daily is still standing strongly for another push down, right? Probably something like this. I don't know where exactly, and maybe it's going to break it, but it hasn't shown us anything yet. This order block is holding up quite nicely. So the dailies to me is still bearish. And if that is the case, I don't even have to go to the lower time frames to get a different perspective. So to me, this is still price created the order block and is coming back to retest it. And price is, I would expect, the direction still to be to the downside as a reaction to that daily order block. And until it starts building in this time frame as well, a bullishness, which there is, but not enough and not breaking any structures, I would expect this to just continue its path, which is to the downside, even though it is in a demand area. And if we look at EU, EU is actually also in a very similar position. We are in a entry order block on the weekly because of a quasi we have to the left. That's the neckline that was broken. This is the head, the left shoulder, and this isn't the right shoulder. It is now forming the possible right shoulder, and we have identified 2 entry order blocks on the weekly time frame, and we're right in one of them, right, the first one. So that's very interesting for a long on the higher time frames. And if we go to the daily, we see as well price coming in. It did form a bullish order block, so there are buyers coming in, and this looks better than GU for a reversal. So because you have the weekly telling us this is a great area, the weekly, we also have a daily entry order block, which is the same structure, but also the same quasi that I mentioned, this being the head, and it coming at a lower place. But that not a lower place. It is coming to one of those 3 entry order blocks on the daily, and we are at one of them. So you have the weekly telling us this is a great area for a reversal, the daily as well, which is a refinement of the weekly order block, and current price action, and this is perhaps more relevant. Current price action is telling us, unlike GU, that buyers are coming in because of the fact that it formed a bullish order block and that's currently right now. So this is looking actually a little bit better than GU in my perspective, or in my point of view. If we go to the 4 hourly, I don't see yet it breaking the structure that it needs to be breaking, which is the H4. That's the structure on the H4. So it hasn't broken anything yet, but on the daily and the weekly, the EU is looking better. You were going to say something, Alex?
Yeah, and just looking, let's say it's in that leg of the last that last leg down. Anything in there, it can still push up and still be bearish, but it actually looks like it's, you know, it's found like a little break in retest from that. It just looks really really clean. That's on EU. That's not on GU.
This is EU. This is EU. Yes.
Got you.
But if you go back to GU, I think because of this big impulsive move, everything it does from this point, right? This move, this is what we're talking about. This bearish impulsive move hasn't been undone, and to me, anything it does within this range is still, you know, bearish to me.
Bearish.
Yeah, and it needs to negate this move by making a higher high for me to start thinking, okay, this is becoming something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that yet, so I'm still waiting. But I'm also a buyer as soon as this starts telling us that it's going to reverse. It's not doing that yet, so maybe we're too early. Maybe it needs more price action, or just maybe it's not going to reverse. It's just going to continue down because, you know, current price action is telling me, you know, sellers are still in control.
Yep. What are we thinking with other assets? Do you want to just jump on to the equities and like the S&P and stuff? Because I know those are moving quite a lot today. We got earnings on loads of different things, and to be honest, that can also affect the US dollar and what everybody's looking at. So what are your outlooks on those things?
Let me can I take a look at the S&P?
Sure.
Go for it.
We do have, I mean, this is it's a bit insane, you know. I keep looking at this, you know, maybe once or twice a week, is to get an overall feeling for, you know, for the overall risk sentiment, you know. And almost every time I open the chart, it's like it's just higher and higher and higher, and it's reclaiming level after level after level. So yeah, I feel like that the P500 here is insanely bullish. I mean, you can clearly see when we you know, we had a break and retest of this level, and then we broke above this level above. So yeah, I think for now we are in a very bullish market structure, and it even looks like we want to be looking at the bigger picture. There's nothing that tells me that we're ready to move lower. There is a change in behavior here if you look at the local trends. So if you assume that is the local trend or whatever, you do see some change in behavior here with equal highs, but you do have the lower lows as well. So obviously a bullish continuation pattern here, not confirmed until we actually break out though, but nothing bullish, I mean nothing bearish about this. We can look at the lower time frames though, and I mean we're just hitting support here as well, so it feels very strong. I would be interested to see what the dollar currency index is doing right here though. Yeah, so this also looks very, very strong. However, I do think that we have to Akash will cover that question in a bit, but that's I guess that's for yeah, let's cover that in a bit. Well, looking at the Dixie, I think we talked about this last week. You know, we had such a bullish move, but we're reaching resistance. It's you know, that high time frame resistance. We can mark out a range here on the dollar and see that we're hitting that range EQ right now, massive resistance area right here. You know, if this follows technical analysis, there is of course a probability that this level will
it's quite like a no trade zone. Sorry to interrupt you. It's like everything that we're looking at, if you look at kind of the majority of assets at the moment, there's a lot of them that are just stuck in the middle of a range. Look at crypto, for instance. Crypto is also stuck in like total market cap in a bit of a middle of the range area. You got the Dixie in the middle of its range. I think everything's like leading up to this US kind of what's going to happen, and looking at all the data coming out of the US as well, and you've got all the stuff going on with BRICS, and then you've got all the stuff with Iran and Israel, and just the world is very, very delicate at the moment. So it's quite a difficult trading area, to be fair. Like, coming back, you know, a couple of months ago, it was there was super nice trading conditions. Now I feel like it's a little bit choppy.
Yeah, I'm barely finding any trades. It's difficult. I'm barely finding any trades. I look at Bitcoin and I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin looks bullish, but it's still in the range. We look at the dollar, it's like, yeah, it's bullish, but it's at resistance. S&P 500 is running. Gold is flying up. We should have just went all in on gold when we said, like, because every live stream where you're like, yeah, gold is going to continue higher, gold is going to continue higher, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should just follow whatever I'm saying, you know.
Opening up the thing is,
know in hindsight.
The thing is, it was very clear that gold is on a bullish path and has been for some time, but it's not the time frame that I trade. So that would be like a positional trade, right, where you just buy and hold for months, and that's why I haven't done that in my trading. I haven't been holding gold for long, but that's the trade on the higher time frame. So it's so powerful, as we see.
I think it shows just how much the world is like it's not stable at the moment. I reckon, let's say, if the big T goes into, you know, gets the spot of being, you know, the president, maybe we'll see gold come down. Maybe they see that as a, you know, as a sign of being the economy and everything becoming more stable, and now you've got a president for the next 4 years, for the good or for the bad, whatever anybody thinks, whatever their political beliefs, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what reaction we're going to have. And at the moment, we've had weeks and weeks of gold going up because, you know, the risk of what's going on geopolitically, and then obviously in America, maybe we'll see us start to wind down once we get a little bit of stability in this in the region, and then a little bit of stability in the government in America. That could be the trade. Just waiting to see when that pops.
Yeah, I truly agree there, Alex, because I think the gold going up is reflective of the risk, geopolitical risk we have, and uncertainty. That's what we have, exactly. Because we don't know who will be, president in the States. That's one thing. But I don't know. But it can, even when we have either one winning, right? And especially T, the big T, as you call him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that is lowering the risk for geopolitical conflicts, you know, and that can even be a bullish driver.
Do you think Kamala is lowering the risk of escalation around the world?
Oh, now we're getting into politics. Not a good place to go.
We should probably not talk about politics.
I'm not going to go in there exactly, but I mean, even if we have one of them,
I'm trying to bait you.
I don't think one candidate is a bit more unpredictable than the other one, and that unpredictability is what's going to maybe increase the risk of, you know, things going out of hand. And that's why that could be a bullish driver for gold. So even if one of them wins and we get some clarity as who is the winner, it may not be, gold might not slow down.
It doesn't really.
My predictions, though, is I think in this case, I think Trump is man, what's the word?
See, all that intermittent fasting is not doing you any good.
Definitely not. But I think Trump is definitely the more predictable choice in for the markets, because he's been president in the past. We know some things about his policies and his stance on economics, while we don't really know anything about Kamala. So I think if Trump gets
4 years of it, but then again, it's nobody knows.
Sure, but I still think it's more predictability with Trump. In a sense, I think if Trump gets elected, we'll see the market react as if we had more stability. Is my guess. But then long term, it doesn't matter, because if you look at the S&P 500. I mean, we zoom out on a weekly. Like, it doesn't matter who's the president.
Wow.
It
why
doesn't
am
matter
I
who's
even
the president.
trading? Why am I?
Yeah.
Why am I even trading? Like, honestly,
because you want to make you want to make
more money than the S&P.
Yeah.
But it's like, I remember there was a time where, I was overloaded in FTM, and I told you, that's it, I've got to close out of all my positions, and I made like a really emotional decision about closing all of my positions on FTM.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
If you look at, like, the best thing is just to sometimes, especially with positions like this, just leave them and not touch them. And like the S&P is just a great example of the difference of, passively investing and just letting it do what it's supposed to do and not trading. Because my trader mind got me out of some really, 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 really strong position trades when I could have been in. FTM now is in it's in a fantastic looking chart, and the S&P is looking absolutely amazing, all-time high. So you've got to kind of make that. What I'm trying to get is you've got to make that balance of sometimes, you got to really be picky what you're trying to do with your trading, but you can't beat just putting your money in an index fund and just having a passive portfolio as well.
That is the revelation from the last couple of what can we say, like a decade or maybe two, where previously we thought in the investment world that active management would create more profit, right? We'll have alpha, we'll have over performance, perform better than a benchmark. But what we have learned last couple of, and that's why we have passive investment is so big, because it actually, passive is very, very powerful. And what we're harnessing with the passive investment is exactly that S&P chart that you see that goes up and up and up. And historically, you're just better off just buy and hold, better than the average hedge fund manager. So why bother, complicating things? Just passive investment is for a lot of people the way to go.
Yeah, but it's also about the risk adjusted returns, basically. So if you look at the S&P 500, you can, of course, you can, let's say you go all in on the S&P 500, you invest in an index fund, right? Now that index fund, if it's not actively traded, you don't have a stop loss on that one. So things like COVID or complete market crash, you're gonna get, your risk adjusted returns will be trash. But if you trade in the Forex market and you have a specific risk management where me and Victor talk a lot about that, where you have your risk management and you calculate that with your max drawdown of your system, and you know exactly how much you're losing on your system, then you can get much, much better risk adjusted return with trading than you can with S&P 500. So, for example, you could say that, okay, the S&P 500, let's say that you make 15% in a year on the S&P 500, and then you make 15% in a year trading Forex, and you'll say, well, why don't you just go all in on the S&P 500? But if you look at the drawdown of the S&P 500 during that time, it might be much bigger than your drawdown on your Forex trading account, which means that you'll ultimately be able to make more money in Forex because you'll be risking less money. So it's not only about the total returns, it's about the returns in relationship to how much you're risking and how much you're losing.
Yeah, you're making a very valid point there. Risk adjusted returns is actually more important than just rough gross returns, only looking at returns. And to be fair, I was making a point that almost recommending for everyone to consider passive investment, but to make the point more balanced, to be fair, we have to say the other side. The other side is that in the last 100 years, S&P has had a drawdown of over 50%. Yes, you heard it well, 50% on 3 occasions. So if you're going passive investment, you have to consider that, how likely is it going to happen in your lifetime? It will happen. And a little good data point here, a little fact here is that one was in 1929. That was the first over 50% drawdown, and the other two happened in the last 30 years. So it's likely it's too little. That's too little data to say anything. But it looks like it could happen more often going forward, right? Because for a very long time, it only happened once, but now in the last couple of decades, it happened already twice.
But COVID, I mean, you look at COVID, you have 36% drop. So
I'm not counting COVID. I'm not counting COVID. So it's even broader, because not only 50% is huge. COVID shown us that COVID crisis, the drop showed us that it can happen again because of another reason, and that's something you have to know and be well informed about.
Yeah, and I mean, only this summer we had a drop on the S&P 500 for over 10%. So, I mean that's 10% of your investment. Like you're not going to lose 10% of your Forex account, because if you lose 10%, if you're risking in a way where you can lose that amount, you're going to lose the account. You're going to get rid of the account. Like 10% on your account, that's massive. So if you look at the returns this year, we can go back to where's got January, which is here. So let's just take that low.
S&P? S&P is S&P is at plus 19, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I checked.
Why does it say 56% here though? Like,
I think where we're all getting at is, you have to be diverse as well in what you're trading. Like, you're diverse in what you're investing your money.
Oh, that's 2022. Sorry.
It's like, I think a good strategy is obviously DCAing, which I think most of us as traders, we should understand how powerful it is DCAing in a passive investment fund. Also keeping, a little bit of that emergency money. And I say emergency money because it's not emergency money for, let's say you lose your job and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying emergency money or black swan money that you're piling up, that if you get an opportunity to go, wow, market is absolutely crashing, it's dropping, I'm just going to get that lump of money, that emergency money, that black swan money, and just say, okay, I'm putting in a big order and I'm buying a load at this level. So DCAing while you have a little bit of cash to the side, waiting for those things to happen. And then obviously you've got your trading on the side for a little bit of that pocket money or a little bit of money, to then turn around and sell courses in ICT and get rich from that.
So stop it. We're gonna lose viewers. Yeah, you see the view count just dropped. No, but I mean, I think I've made between 17 and 20% on my passive investment this year. And I'm basically just adding every month. I'm adding a certain percentage of my monthly income into that. So I split it in two. I add one part I add to my like index portfolio or my long-term portfolio, and one part I add to my trading portfolio. So I grow the trading portfolio and I grow the passive investment. So I think this year I made around, when it comes to percentage returns, I made around the same, slightly less with Forex trading than with the passive income investment. But if you look at the risk adjusted returns, it's almost like 4 or 5 times higher on my Forex trading, so I'm not losing money on the Forex account. But if you look at my passive income, some months I'm down 5%, and that's not going to happen on the Forex account,
And we don't take in, something that I never ever do with my investments and even my assets, like crypto or anything like that, is actually taking into account the money we've lost through inflation and things like that, because that's also a lot. And I never do that. I never take into account that stuff, which I should.
We hear inflation. We hear the inflation numbers coming out, and they're saying things like it's 2%, 3%, whatever. Like, if people think about that, and they're like, oh, it's only 2%, it's only 3%. But you look at, you zoom out on that, and I'm going to see if I can find a chart on that. But the actual true inflation that you should be looking at is insane. Like in the last 10 years, inflation has gone up in such a dramatic way. And I mean, not only do we have, when you go to the supermarket, you're gonna buy your groceries. Not only do we have inflation on the prices, we have what we call shrinkflation as well. The cost of a package of coffee is going up while the actual coffee in the package is going down. We're being robbed. We're being scammed, guys.
Yeah. Do you know, if you're from England, I bet you, well, obviously you're not, but for people that are from England right now, look at a Freddo. Yeah, I remember when Freddos were like 5p, and they were massive, these massive Freddo bars, and now they're like 25p, and they're, like 30% less chocolate than what it is. Even just in chocolate bars, it's just less. And it's like, it is just one of this. But there's a trade on Euro and NZD. Somebody said shout out to it, and I had a look at it, and I actually quite like the trade. The reason why I like the trade is that we've had all this push up. We've had a break in structure. You can see it broke and took out all these tops here. We've had quite a lot of price action in this area. So in this area, we've had like a nice little bit of consolidation. We've had a lot of, we can call it liquidity, based around these areas as well, under these lows here, under these lows here. Prices then come down, taken out that area, and now it's found support, pushed up, consolidated again, and now pushed up to break the top of that range. So going on the lower time frames, now we've had, this is on a 15-minute, we're seeing all of that now closer. We can see we've had a break up this level. So we've had a break above there, we've had a retest down probably around about a 50 fib, and now we're having a push up. Now this trade, I'm just thinking, are we going to get a continuation to break up now, and like a continuation on the 4 hour? Is it going to come, it's made all this kind of price action, is it going to just start pushing up now to take out these areas? And that's what I'm betting on. So that's my bet. I'm betting for the break and continuation. So I hope that's from the other person, that mentioned Euro NZD. Tell me what you're looking at. But that's what I'm looking at the moment. And that's why I got into that trade.
We've got someone in the audience who would like a little bit of how you trade, Alex. Could you give this and everyone else a little short summary of what you look for and how do you identify those trades?
So I haven't been for a long time, so we'll go back over some stuff. Let's go over. Let's pull up just like a EU. So I've got two main strategies that I use. More of a low time frame strategy, which is return to the mean strategy, where I'm looking for price always to return back to a 200 EMA. And how I do that is, normally what I would do is go onto the lower time frames. I would look for gaps in between price action, in between the EMAs, and I'll look for price to actually fill those gaps. So you can look at it as, when price is coming down, I look at prices underwater and it's just coming back up to get some air, and this 200 EMA is that, that line of the water. The same thing that goes above, when the price is above the 200 EMAs and all the EMAs are coming up, I'm looking for price return back to its mean, which is the 200 EMA. That is just one way of looking at it. So if we go into a 5-minute time frame, where I would look would be for something like this. Now this isn't the nicest price action, if I'm honest. This isn't very nice, but I would be looking then for the return back to the 200 EMA. So you would look for, let's say, a trade like this. Say you've got a specific level, or you've got a pivot point. Take from the top to the bottom of the move. I'd get in on a 50 fib, and I would get out at the 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. which consists with the 200 EMA. So that's the one setup that I would normally go for, and that's a bread and butter setup. The other setup that I would go for is just continuation trades. So very similar to how Jonatan trades. We trade very similar. He's just on a higher time frame. I'm trying to get used to higher time frames at the moment. Because I just haven't got time to trade like I used to. But all it would just be break continuations, a little bit like this. This is a really nice trade. So if I take the fib, I take it for its last move. There you go. You've got another trade there. Get in at the 50, get out at the 200 EMA, or I'd push it to the last available high of that bit of price action. That's how I trade in a nutshell, really.
So basically the first strategy is a mean reversion based on the 200 EMA.
Yeah.
And the other one is a
continuation trade. I don't really, basically, yeah.
Nice.
That's it. Let's see if I can find any examples. But with the euro NZD trade is the perfect trade that I would say for the continuation. It's, you've had all of that consolidation, you've had the break of the structure in here, you've had a retest down, another break, and now I'm just looking for the break, the continuation to take out all of these highs here. That would be the break continuation trade, where the other one was the mean reversion trade.
And do you combine those? Do you combine those two, where you see that it's, it's breaking out, and but in the lower time frame, let's say it had an exaggerated retrace that is way beyond the 200 EMA, for example, which will give you a buy signal, but it's also a buy signal for the other on another time frame for the other strategy.
Yeah, definitely. It works best. It works really nice, both the techniques together on lower time frames, because on lower time frames the 200 EMA, is like the 50 or 100 on the 15 minute. If you have a look, let's have a look. That 200 EMA, if you go onto a 15, then price is still coming up to hit the 50, for instance. That's why you can just adapt this strategy and kind of combine them too. They're just little techniques. I wouldn't really call them strategies per se. They're just different techniques. For instance, you would see that price is breaking up above here. It's come back, returned, broken up above all of this area of consolidation, come back around to the 50 EMA, and there you would go take out at the 200. You could have pushed it a little bit higher, but I would have probably, especially being on the lower time frames, would have got out on the 200 EMA. But again, it is a discretionary way of trading as well. You've got kind of the foundation of what I like to look for, and then the rest of it is just discretionary.
Nice overview there of how you trade. So, Jonatan, what are the opportunities for you today, and perhaps coming sessions? What are you seeing in the market as possible setups?
Great question. Let's take a look. So the ones that I'm looking at is GBP CHF, most likely going to go straight up exactly here. That's what I'm thinking. That's today. I really hope that that's gonna work out today. The next ones I'm looking at is, so USD CAD. We looked at this last week, and I talked about a potential reversal right here. And welcome, Ricardo. You're unbanned. Welcome back. Welcome to the 5ers Live Trading Room. Okay, so we looked for a rejection here. We did have a rejection, but no follow through. I did not short this. I'm still, however, looking for a potential move like this. Like if we get this, that would be like a high time frame top formation for me, and that might also translate into a small double top-ish pattern on the daily. So USD CAD, I got my eyes on USD CAD for a short, but there has to be a lot of price development for this to be valid. But the way I'm looking at things when I'm looking at the higher time frames, I'm trying to see, especially now, being Monday, I'm looking forward multiple days. You know, I'm looking, you know, what could price do for us all the way through Friday, you know? So that's USD CAD, and then we got GBP USD. Again, I'm looking for some type of bullish reaction here at what I believe is high time frame support. So right now I'm expecting this, not expecting is the wrong word, but I'm looking for this to be a lower high. So I'm looking for this to form, and then this, as you can see, this would be my reversal pattern, a double bottom. I don't know what you're doing, Alex, but you're doing some sort of noise into the microphone. Not sure what that is, but it sounds maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Why? What kind of noise?
You know.
Oh, that's just me heavy breathing. I got my nose in it. Hey, everybody's got a nose, obviously, but my nose specifically.
Really? You have a nose? Yeah. You know what? I got a nose as well.
No, you have not got a nose.
I do have a nose. I do have a nose.
You guys are.
So yeah, that's. Yeah, he's meditating. He's trying to get through listening to me.
Stress for that pound dollar trade that is in.
As soon as I start doing my analysis, it's like, oh god. Okay, so move on. This is GU, and then we got EU. Now, obviously, because I'm looking for a potential log on GU, most of the time you'll see me look for a similar trade on EU, and I'm thinking the same here. You know, we got a level here. Perhaps we're going to come lower, but I'm looking at this. You know, so again we have the same reversal pattern right here, and then when we have that break, I'm looking to go long here up to the FTA up here. So that's what I'm doing. Also, same reason for EU. I'm looking at a high time frame support area. You can go to the weekly. It's a pretty big one, but I'm just gonna put my level on and expecting a reaction inside this area. That's the FTA up here. So that's a long on GU and a long on EU. While and that this also aligns on a potential short on USD CAD. So if USD CAD prints a short setup, then GU and EU would already have printed long setups most likely. And then we get an NCD USD. And if we zoom out on NCD USD, we'll see that we have a massive support area here as well. And we are starting to form what could perhaps be a double bottom on the daily. And within that double bottom on the daily, I'm seeing what I think might be a reversal on the 4 hours. So we have, right now, I'm just going to say that we have a trend that looks something like this, perhaps. But if we break above that one, so if we break above this high, then I would be viewing that as a potential break of structure where I'm perhaps looking at something like this up to that level. So that's a long on NCD USD. This does not look perfect though, but it would align with the idea. And then we got USD CHF, which is this one is actually, this one I want to short actually kind of right away because because we I would say that even though we have a range here and we broke and retested range highs, which by the way, if you look at the 4 hours, is a picture perfect trend. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. High time frame range at the high time frame support, break and retest. I mean, look at that break and retest. I'm gonna add a fib, and you probably know what I'm gonna show you, but look at this right here, right into the middle of the reload zone. Absolutely beautiful, perfect. And of course I didn't take that trade, but very good. Now we're coming up and we're hitting that the first major FTA right there. The first major FTA. Now I can short this because even though we had that range and the break and retest of range highs, I still view this as market structure being neutral to slightly bearish, because we have this move and there needs to be way more development than just this for this trend to be broken. I need to see something like this for me to, really say this is a break of structure. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking for a short. The only problem is when I want to short something, I want it to be one move up into resistance and then form a top formation. The problem is if we have support here, then we don't really have anything to... We're basically shorting into support. So I want that 4-hour trend to be completely broken and really safely, for me to safely say this is broken. And the problem here is this support level. You can see that it's an important support level because obviously lots of touches as resistance, powerful breakout when it actually breaks out, a big wick when it hits support, and then now we're at that support again. So if this support would have been down here, then this would have been a perfect short. Like imagine if this price action here just didn't exist. Then I would simply just take... I would actually already have been in this trade because I would have entered here. The stops would have been above the structure, and then I would have just TP'd right here. But it's a bit problematic now because now it feels like obviously I can't short support. So what I'll have to do now is I'll have to add an alert down here for this to give me extra confirmation. What I'm looking for is this. And then this will be my
pound.
trade.
Finally. Movement on pound and movement, well, Euro NZD is not really doing too much, but we're now seeing pound looks like it's about to break further down.
Yeah, I'm looking at pound CHF here, and as long as this level holds, I'm gonna stay in the trade. But I have one alert right below that wick right there, and we'll most likely exit this trade if we go below that area.
Mm-hmm.
But I have two more charts I want to show you. This is AUD USD, same principle here. I'm looking at this level as some sort of support area, and honestly, the high time, like the location of the high time frame area, is not really that important. What's important is the area where the reversal pattern is printed. We know that this is a big move on the 4-hour. We're seeing the move had a strong push to the downside, found some support, broke down again, retested that level. We can safely say that the volatility and the speed at which this move developed is not here anymore. We're slowing down, and we're slowing down while we're also inside the sort of high time frame support area. So if we do see this, then that will be the trade, because then again we'll have that reversal pattern again on the 4-hour, and then my trade will be from this level to the FTA above, which in this case is just a super small move. And then finally we have, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking for half an hour, but
does it give you enough room to reach that with a high level of probability, do you think?
It depends on what the trigger looks like. I want to have, but this is actually a good example here. You can see if I have a strong candle like this one and a clean level below, then I'm fairly certain that will continue higher. But it's all about the strength of the entry candle. There needs to be a clear sign that there's momentum coming in,
Yeah, it looks great. So, but do you have do you know in advance up to where can you still have your TP and above a line which invalidates the potential of the trade? Do you have something like, say, as long as the TP is below this level, I'm going to take it, but as soon as you do, right? And where would that be? Would be just the FTA,
So what I do is I first look at I first look at the historic price action on the 4 hour. So TP is always based on the 4 hour, and I always look at the historic price action on the 4 hour. And when I find a good level historically, and I then try to make that level smaller based on the most recent price action. But I just like this, like from that to this creates a fairly interesting resistance. And I think actually this is sort of like the level I'm looking at. So if we adjust it to current price action, I would probably put a level around here. I would be okay with having that as my TP. So if we have a move where I could enter on perhaps that as the last high pre-break, and I could have my stop loss here, then that would be exactly half an hour. So that's actually what I'm looking for. The problem with this setup though is that breakout candle might go up here, and if that happens, then it's not valid, because I don't want my entry candle or my confirmation candle to hit TP before I enter. I want my TP being hit. I want that to be the first retest of the FTA. So actually going through this is not really great example, but I'll still have this on my list because you never know what price action looks like when it actually triggers.
Yeah, I was looking at the week this week, the days ahead, and I saw that we have interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada coming up, which is on Wednesday. So, do you have something with that currency? Do you have a setup that has CAD in it?
I was reading a comment from Andre and completely did not listen to what you were saying. I'm sorry, Victor.
No,
I was saying something about Romania and we should have a drinking game. I think that's a very bad idea, even though it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's not everything that's fun is good for you.
No, but definitely not.
No, I was saying we have the Bank of Canada with its interest rate decision on Wednesday. Do you have anything? Because I don't trade any CAD on a regular basis, any CAD pair. But do you have, or maybe Alex, you guys, one of the UF2, have you seen? Are you looking at some setup based on the fact that there's a lot of volatility coming in, that there are extra opportunity? Because now that you're trading higher time frame, Alex, this is exactly the kind of things that can maybe a catalyst, right, for maybe after the news, but based on the news.
Yeah, it's funny we say that I'm trading higher time frames. I'm playing around with it. I've been trading higher time frames a lot with crypto. I'm trying to put it towards FX. We'll have to see what it's like, because I'm still getting sucked into just my old habits of trading, which are really good habits of trading. I just haven't got time to do it all the time. So I don't know. This is probably getting better for Jonatan, because he's more used to, because we had the opposite. Jonatan, you're more of a swing trader. You've been swing trading for years, and I'm the opposite. So maybe you have a better idea than me.
Yeah, probably. So, what's the question? The question is,
do you have any setups with CAD because of the interest rate decision coming up?
Yeah, I got USD CAD. We got interest rates on. Yeah, I think the interest rate decision could actually be what could be the catalyst for this, because right now USD CAD is running quite heavily. I mean, it looks insanely bullish. We had a very bullish structure right here, but until we actually do break above this level, for me this is not bullish, because we just had a massive move into resistance area. So depending on what the Bank of Canada's monetary policy will say, we might see that catalyst needed for a move lower. I do feel USD CAD is difficult to trade though, because it's two currencies that are kind of what's good for Canada is probably good for US as well. So it's two currencies that are quite correlated with each other, and I feel like it's difficult to trade USD CAD. I don't know why, but I'm not getting a lot of good setups on that one. I kind of wish I did trade gold more, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But I think everyone wishes they traded gold more today, though. Looking at price action, this is just crazy.
That's the laziest thing I've ever heard, because all it is just go long at the moment.
Yeah, but maybe this is when I look at a trend and I feel like, maybe it's time to enter. That to me is like, okay, you gotta take a step back, because that's a top signal, right? You're looking at something is going and going and going and breaking into new all-time highs, and now it's like everyone's talking about gold, everyone's asking about gold, and I'm even thinking maybe I should take a trade on gold. I'm never trading gold, and when I do, it's just stop loss just likes being hit,
But then again, I mean,
gonna dump.
But are you? I mean, if you look at a chart, you can say we should have, but can you still, is that statement still true for today? Can you still trade gold or take a position, since it's so steady going up, and it has, moved a lot already? Is it a good trade still?
I'm thinking I should just put orders on the 50. I mean, on the 50 fib, that's just a beautiful retest right there of this level. Like if gold retest this level, then yep, that's a good trade right there. The only problem is, though, in this current trend that we had, gold has never retested any major breakouts, which it's a bit concerning. So when it actually does retest the breakout area, that's a change of structure, and that's a change of behavior of the trend. Because if you look at every major breakout from starting in the beginning of the year, no retest, no retest, no retest, no retest, and no retest. If we do retest this one, then that would be the first time that I almost said Bitcoin, that gold is retesting the breakout level, and that to me is a sign of a change in behavior and the first sign of a potential, slowing down of the trend. So buying this trend on gold, I probably too late. It's probably too late.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think Henry says it was right. We don't know what's around the corner. You don't want to, especially on an asset like that, you don't want to lose your trousers trying to long it, and you don't want to, lose them just trying to short it too early as well. So the best thing to do with gold, I think, is wait till there's something that is very, very clear. You don't want to buy up here, and I think more and more people are going to start feeling that it's not the best place to buy. And if it eventually gets to the point where there's not enough buyers, well, it's going to have to come down to find buyers. So
the Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Crypto today, my altcoins have taken a good 5% hit today across the board.
Yes, I got to take a quick break. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, okay?
Wow. Yeah, let me go on a bit of a higher time frame. So I did cut off my pound trade just because I just don't like the way it's moving. But I'm sticking with the break and retest continuation trade on Euro NZD. Pound just, the whole consolidation with it and just not really having a clear movement for me is just the best thing to do is just get out and just show us Pepe. I'll show you Pepe if you want. Pepe.
That's one of your out positions, right?
Yeah, let me put this on then. So the Pepe position would be on this. Yeah. That's nice. The Pepe position. But it's finding, it's struggling. It's struggling right here. So that's the Pepe position.
I see. It's still positive to me. It's holding up that EMA, and it has a. If you look where the one of the horizontal lines, that one right there. That move, it's retracing it, but it's not breaking any structures to the downside if you look at it. And there was another bullish engulfing, which is retracing into. But so as long as it's holding that structure, I would say order block, I think it's just regrouping to continue higher. It looks to me like that.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things. It is super. Everything is very consolidating, and it takes a long time to actually make a move. And if it makes a move, it comes back. It's the same with DOT is also another position that I'm in at the moment. And
which one is that?
This is DOT. This is the position. Where have I got the
DOT?
Yeah, DOT. My entry. Same type of thing is here. Let's see if I can get this. So my entry is also here at, I think it was 4250. So it was a little bit higher. Let me put a long position on, just makes it easier to see.
And that's a break and retest. So this is or is this a mean reversion to the 200?
This is this. When I said everything can be, everything can kind of be the same type of trade, as in the two techniques can kind of converse together and it still be a good trade. So for instance, like this, we're at the bottom of this range. We've had a lot of consolidation. We've had a break above here. All I'm looking for is to reach the top of this range here. So we had that break. If you have a look right here, we had the break of this area. We've had the retest down to hit the fibs, and now we've had another break. And now we're having a retest of that 21. So stage by stage by stage, it's taking its time, but the target is the top of this range. Now it hasn't hit the 200 EMA for months. I'm not expecting it to hit the 200 EMA at all. I'm just looking for it to get to the top of that range. And the way it's going to get to the top of that range is just through slow break, retests, continuations. That's all it is going to be. So that was that trade. What else have I got? I did have a trade yesterday on Phantom. It's heartbreaking on Phantom because I added a position trade all the way up here and I ended up closing it. But
before, I remember some time ago you were talking about Sol, right?
Sol I'm still in from 50.
Wow.
$50. This was the trade from yesterday. So the exact same thing, the break, the retest, the continuation to take out this high. If we have a look on the 4 hour, you can see it really good on the 4 hour. Because all I was looking for, this is the break, this is the rounded kind of base and the continuation I was looking for. But I didn't think in that short amount of time it was going to get to there. Otherwise I would have, held it and pushed it higher. All I wanted to do is take the low hanging fruit. So taking the tops off here and taking all the liquidity in the orders here, that's what I was looking for, and it got into that trade relatively in and out of that trade relatively quickly.
Very nice.
I missed all of that. It was now Solana. If we have a look at the Solana, my average is down at these areas. So I'm up pretty big in Solana. I'm gonna hold this.
You said 50, right? And now it's 160 something, right?
So yeah. I'm up
upwards of 3x on that position
already. On Solana, definitely. I'm looking for it just to get to all-time highs. I'm not looking to sell it anytime soon.
How high is that all-time high? That's like
that all-time high is probably about 6. It's around about It's around about 60%. So 257 breaks 257. I'll be looking for it to break 257, and probably when it gets to around 300, we might find a little bit sticky. So I may close out to the positions then. But that's it. Long-term swing position trading on crypto is just where it's at. I'm not day trading crypto anymore, because I tell you what, I keep going back to it, and it's just absolutely smashing me, because it takes the problem with day trading crypto. It likes, especially if you're on the low time frames, it loves to take you in and take you out, and I'm a sucker for leverage as well. So the best thing for me is just to stay and just trade spot, and it's just been fantastic trading spot.
Nice. And
what about you? What have you been looking at?
You mean in crypto, or you mean
crypto?
Normal?
Yeah, because I keep trying to get you to come into crypto.
Well, I have been building a little bit position of BTC, but that's more like a long-term position. It's not a trade as such. So I'm buying, and if it goes lower, I'll keep on buying, and I'll be buying the coming months and probably coming years, bit by bit. So that's not very exciting to show. It's just I'm building a position on BTC for, you know, something to the tune of not to the tune, but I mean for the horizon of about 10 years at least, something like that. And other than that, I've been looking at Sol as well. So it looks very solid. If you see how it is, you know, comparing in terms of, if you compare it to BTC, you know, Sol is very stable. The graph has been very, the price has been very stable. And I've been buying some market structure, very, very stable. That gives me a lot of, you know, it tells you how strong it is. And the other position I've been looking into is Chrono, or CRO, which I've been accumulating a little bit of that as well, which is breaking out on the
Crow. Let's have a look at
CRO. It's not exactly a huge buy yet, but it is looking to, you know, seem to have been forming a base. I'm trying to get the graph right now to show you guys, if I may.
With Aussie yen, I think Aussie yen is fine. I don't know if you're in buys. I think you're fine. I don't think you need to be worried for it selling off. I think you may get, you know, it may break this this high here. It looks good for the moment. If you're in sells, well, you've probably got your stop loss over here. So if that's the case, then you're probably going to get stopped out. Especially if you put your risk to that spot to get out if it comes back up. So sells are probably going to get taken out.
Let me show the chart that I was looking into, or that made me start buying some Chrono. Let me see.
Yeah, I closed the pound dollar trade. I just didn't like the way it was just trading, so I just closed it out and just sticking to Euro NZD. So whoever shouted that out, well done. You putting your screen on?
Yes, I'm getting things ready to put my screen on. Let's see if I can. Let me get that. I think it's already on. Okay. Well, the what I'm looking for is on this pair, this crypto. It's Chrono. This is against the euro, but I mean, you can find it. You may not be able to see the same things as you compared to dollar, but it's basically the same trade, of course, just different base currency. But what I see is that we have come, right. We have had a very impulsive move, of course, came into some area, left an order block, and had a continuation. And now we're retesting that same order block on the weekly. This is a weekly order block, mind you. And as we come into that, I can see how the price of Chrono is decelerating. So that is something that I'm interested in, and just in higher in higher time frame position, because this is also not for trading. This is for holding, buy and hold for a long time, years without really an idea where to get out necessarily. So I think this is a great place to be accumulating because of that weekly order block. If you zoom out, of course, it has been much higher in the past, and we don't know if it's going to reach those levels, but this is a great base area from which I suppose it can start getting higher with time, as that, right? It's that area of demand that have shown in the past to be a price doesn't go much lower than that, even though we don't have a lot of information historically, but that's what we have. So that's one pair that I've been buying that and looking at in Sol as well. If you look at the let's see, the Solana, what you have been talking a lot, I think the fact is that, you know, with other crypto pairs that have been having a deeper retraces, Solana has been able to hold its position, right, and be a consolidating at a place of strength, which I think is very powerful. You don't, as others have, you know, come retraced, Solana didn't, just held his ground, and likely that means that when the other pairs are going to be breaking out, Solana will have a very bullish structure to continue with. So both of them, those are the two things that I'm looking at, and actually all of those positions are not trades. They're positions for as an investor.
Investment.
Investment. But still, I use the same way of looking at price with them as well for entries. So that's what, and basically if I go to Forex pairs, what I see on for Euro, I touched upon this at the beginning of the stream. What I'm looking for is I expect this area to be a great place for demand to come in, and we do see let me get this a little bit zoomed in a little bit more. This is EU, right? So, and this is the area we did form Friday. We did form a bullish order block. So that to me is that maybe the first indication that buyers are coming in, and they're doing it at a very relevant weekly order block, but also on a daily order block. So it makes a lot of sense that not necessarily right away, but in the coming sessions, right? I don't mean it's going to do this, right? Like a V-shaped reaction, correction, but although it might, what I would think is likely to happen is that as long as this order block is holding, it can perhaps, you know, start building some kind of a reversal pattern and then have some kind of a pop, right? I'll just wait for price to tell me, and then I will start building the setup. But it's not there yet. If I look the daily, it looks great. It looks promising. If I go to the H4, I don't see the reversal, right? The neckline, as I said, is way above us. That's the neckline on the H4 for me. So I don't have a structure. It hasn't broken any structure yet for me to start thinking about a long position or a long setup. But I mean, that can still happen in this area where you could see something like this and then price continuing. If this happens, right, a quasi or some other reversal pattern that I trade, well, I mean order blocks, not patterns, but structures that I trade, then I would be getting in with a H4 structure, while knowing that the daily already gave us that bullish structure, right? And then I will be able to upgrade it for a daily trade as well, and have perhaps a daily TP, which is based on the opposite structure on the daily order block on EU, which is about, what is it? That's about 70 pips above us, and that could be, because it's a daily, that would be a swing trade. So I'm going to hold at least part of it open for, if it happens, of course, for, you know, more than one day. It's not going to be a day trade. That's what I'm looking for, but it's I don't see it happening yet. It's not giving us all the indication, the cues yet that I need to get in. So I'm sitting on my hands and waiting for price to show me its hand.
What about you, Jonatan, what are you looking at?
Honestly, I'm not looking at much. I mean, I'm just waiting for some developments here on the pairs that I already looked at. The thing with swing trading is there's not, I mean, I'm looking at the 4 hour, there's not a lot of action. I mean, especially not if you're waiting for a 4 hour candle to close before you have confirmation, then, you know, 1 hour to the other hour, there's not much changing. So, but like, I'm in the GBP CHF trade right now, and I'm just waiting for this to break down so I can close this, and I'm looking for the other pairs. Let's see, I can share. Yeah, I'm just, you know, waiting for something to happen here. I mean, I do definitely see GU printing a long signal this week, but probably not today. Same with EU, maybe tonight. But there's just I feel like the market has just been very slow. One thing I'm watching though is Bitcoin. I think we have a possible trade here on Bitcoin down to these levels. So see we have a break of structure here. So if we do close this 4 hour candle, it's going to close in 2 hours and 20 minutes. We have possible trade on the break and retest here down to this level below. Go to the daily, you see that it's basically still bullish, right? You're just shorting the 4 hour 10, but I'm still looking at this, you know. So that would be on daily, but then on the 4 hour you have, let's see, a this structure here. But I'm probably not gonna take this trade on Bitcoin. So
by the way, we got a question on Bitcoin and the possible effect of the election on it. Do you have any comment on that? Since you're talking about Bitcoin right now.
I just want to cover this question first before we go on to that. 500 entries does not mean 500 people. One person can have multiple entries into the competition or the giveaway. With you know, like adding the code is one entry. If you've been here before, that's one entry, and then you follow the steps, then you get multiple entries. So just to be clear on that. Yeah, so the price of Bitcoin, how will this be affected by the elections? Well, if we talk about first we have to think about the fact that Bitcoin is not a American asset, it's international. So, but then of course the US president, whatever he says or whatever the Fed says, kind of controls the international markets. So it does have a big effect, of course. So if you look at what each of the candidates have said about crypto, they're basically at this point, this close to the election, they're basically saying the things that they're hoping will get them voters. So when it comes to crypto, they're basically saying, vote for me and I'll pump crypto. Now, you know, we have a comment here saying, yeah, we have a comment saying here that Trump is pro Bitcoin. Trump is pro Bitcoin, but he's also pro a lot of different shit coins. And he's been promoting like the weirdest crypto things on Twitter. Like he's selling NFTs. Like it's insane. I don't like that approach. That to me tells me that he knows nothing about crypto. He knows nothing about Bitcoin, because if he really believed in Bitcoin and he believed in crypto, he wouldn't be doing all the stuff that he's doing with NFTs and different crypto products. He would just be focused on Bitcoin. And then Kamala on the other side has gone out and said, I'm not going to talk about the details of that, but she's gone out and she's published lots of weird stuff when it comes to crypto. But they're all basically trying to get voters to vote for them by saying things like, I'm going to pump this and that. And, you know, now, well, they're not saying that, of course, but if you read between the lines, that's basically what they're saying. And So what we'll actually have to wait and see whoever gets elected and what they're actually gonna bring. What type of?
Should we do some predictions and then we can just watch them back after the election?
That's a great idea. Great idea. Okay, yeah. What should we predict?
You go first.
Oh, wait, I don't even know what to predict. It's your idea.
No, it's not. I honestly think that Bitcoin. I think we're gonna get a pump in crypto, a big pump in crypto if Mr. T wins, and if Mrs. K wins. I think we're going to see
straight down. That's my prediction as well. Victor, you'll have to take the other side of that bet.
Yeah, and the loser has to come dressed as a clown. As we'll bring that back.
I'm in. I'm all in.
I thought we passed that phase already.
Yeah,
never. We're never too old to dress up. Do we have a deal? Do we have a deal? Clown is back on the table.
Wait, I don't know. So okay, if we're doing this seriously, should we do the closest person? Do we all think if though Mr. T gets in, Bitcoin's gonna go up, and if Mrs. K goes in, crypto's gonna go down? Do we?
I don't think Victor thinks that.
I would think that's quite likely to happen. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. So I'm on the same side with you guys.
Should we do?
So are we gonna have 3 clowns in?
Where is Bitcoin going to be in?
The 5th of November.
1 month until now.
Oof, that's a tough one. Ah, man. Okay.
Ooh, the closest.
Did we say the 21st of November?
Yeah. So we'll do this then. Oh, it's a shame we can't do a Gleam where we will do a bet between us, and then one person that gets it right gets closest in the chat.
So what I'm gonna do is
they would also get like an account or something.
Well, you know what? We'll look this up until for this Wednesday live stream. I'll look something up. I'll see if we can use a prediction platform or something like that, and actually try to see if we can. Because I mean, the way Victor and Abe does it in the Discord with the Excel spreadsheet, that's not gonna work for 300 or 400 people. So I'm thinking maybe we'll see if they can input their numbers somewhere, and then we'll see who's closest.
It can work for many. It doesn't matter. I think you can.
It can.
Even large numbers.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll create a Google form. And then everyone has to predict the price of Bitcoin at the end of November, and the one who's closest gets a bigger giveaway than usual. Because to be honest, it's a big thing.
Or they have to come on stream dressed as a clown. Oh no, that's if they win. Okay.
Yeah. We'll think about that.
Yeah.
I would say let's think it over.
Yeah, Victor is the logical one here. It's like let's think about it, guys.
I'm like, let's give him a Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari sounds cool,
Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Okay, guys, I think we're getting close to the actual giveaway. Is there anything else you guys want to cover?
Nope. I think my trade is just oscillating around my entry point. Nothing going on in the market really.
I think Bitcoin, the Bitcoin short here is looks very interesting. Let's. I'm gonna check up on GBP CHF.
We haven't seen Dirk. I haven't seen Dirk around a long time.
Yeah, well, we should get him on. I know he's currently down with the flu or COVID or something like that. Well, we'll definitely get him on, and we'll talk a little bit about Bitcoin and.
Brilliant.
I know that he's not. I'm not saying that we're all Trump supporters, but I think he's probably going to take the other side of that bet.
Ooh, now that is somebody I want to hear what he thinks, because he's actually got.
Yeah.
We could call ourselves.
He's actually smart.
We are retail traders. We are retail traders, and Dirk is an ex-professional trader. So it'll be interesting to see what he thinks. And we need to bring back the Mare indicator.
More talks about market edge in the future. Isn't that all we do? Maybe he's saying we talk
about... We could. Do you know what? I think we could do, because I sent in the Discord. I sent a survey to find out what people like with education and things like that.
Right.
Harish, yeah, you're more than welcome. See, Harish was probably one person that actually participated. It's okay. Thank you very much for the time. A lot of people are looking for more structured education, more structured kind of teachings. So maybe if you guys comment what kind of things that you would like to see, maybe we can do a week of just structured, wait
a minute, Alex. Yeah, we should do a full week of structured content. You're absolutely right about that. That's hilarious.
Market structure. I don't know. A full week of market structure. I don't know, or a full week of just using EMAs and just teaching from the bones until.
No, I'm absolutely with you on that. And when we do plan these live streams, yeah, I mean, definitely we could have something structured, but the thing is, when you're doing 2 hours 3 times a week, it's easy to get repetitive. I mean, it's not like we can do a trading psychology. I mean, we've done multiple trading psychology webinars. I've done, I think, 3 or 4 webinars where I've described my trading strategy. You've done it, in the past. So it's we can definitely do that, and I think it's a good idea to maybe send on the forum and ask people what they want. But I also want people to understand that we have a wealth of knowledge on our YouTube channel. When you go to the live section and you look at all the past live streams, you'll have so much information on the previous live streams as well. So if you really want to get knowledge in trading, our live streams are really going to give you a lots of structured content as well. But if there's anything you want to see specifically going forward, if you want another, you want a specific webinar on a specific subject, feel free to, you can reach out to me at tradingroom@the5ers.com if there's anything specific you want to see. And I can not easily, but I'll definitely, for you guys, I'll put something together and we'll create something more structured for you guys, definitely. There should be a trade management as you open a trade and how you manage it. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. It's just that it's going to be very individual. Like how you manage your trade is we're all going to do it differently, and that's going to be something that you can understand, guys. Like we can give you everything. We can give you everything, and this is a problem in the trading education space. Because I can give you everything. I can give you my system, my entry criteria, my stop loss, my TP, my trade management, my risk management, everything. I can give you that, plus the trading psychology. But you will never be able to replicate that. And you're never going to be able to trade exactly the same as I am, because you need time and you need experience. So all we can really do is give you a foundation and tell you, now it's your turn. Now it's up to you to build something based on that foundation. And the reality is, most people, they want to be handed a system that they can follow without really having to do a lot of their work on their own. And you have to realize that you have to do like 90% of the work. You have to do that on your own. We can only give you a template, right? But definitely, we can try. We will definitely set that up.
Yeah, thank you for your guys' comments, but we're going to ignore absolutely everything and just do what we've been doing for the rest of the time. I'm totally joking, but
I never said that. I never said that. Did it come? Did it sound like I said that? Did it sound like I said that?
Oh.
Oh my god! I thought I said the complete opposite to that, but maybe I'm just very bad at communicating.
No, I'm busting your things.
I like this one. Andrew's like, chill, Ricardo, you just got unbanned. He's like, there you go again with the words, Ricardo. You gotta chill. We just unbanned you. One live stream and you're calling everyone lazy bums. Man. All right.
Oh, God.
Ricardo likes to live on the edge.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Probably a scalper.
Well, it was good to be good to see you guys. Wait, what are we doing? Are we doing like the giveaway link? Is somebody doing the giveaway?
Yeah.
I was just gonna end the stream.
Yeah, it's like
okay, see you later, guys. Thank you for being here. Okay, bye.
Yeah, this is market edge. This is market edge right here. Okay, let's go. We got who do we have today? We have yep, that's the one. Let's do it. Let's see, 20K bootcamp. I've been saying 10K bootcamp for a couple of weeks, but then we don't have a 10K bootcamp. So 20 it is.
You know what they say about up the stairs and down with the elevator when it comes to crypto. It is just so true.
It really is. Okay, Mr. Tabo, you got 2 minutes to confirm your email in the comments. I need in the email you have at the very beginning the 2 first characters is what I want from you.
TH.
That's the one I want. You think it's TH? Yeah, you're not right.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, look at Bitcoin exactly. You got the elevator up and the
the elevator up. I wish.
Well, you could be taking the elevator. It's stopping at every level, and then you're falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
It's like you're going up, and you're making so much money. You're
loving life.
You're going up at every level. You're just loving life, and then you're just way too drunk to walk, so you're falling down the stairs.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Definitely, that's how I feel when I trade.
All right, you're here. Yeah, I know it's most likely you. So could you just give me the 2 characters in the beginning of your email? If you don't know that, then this is not you. But if you do know it, then that would confirm that it's actually you.
Haven't we got that giveaway picker thing?
We do, but we want to make sure that the person winning is actually watching. So that's why we're confirming that they're actually here.
Very nice. I like
because in the past we yeah.
Got you.
The thing is though, like if
do they have to be here though to get the code to get in?
But they can go in and they can get the code and the giveaway and then they can leave, right?
Got ya.
Okay, so yeah, there we go. All right, good stuff, Tabo. Congratulations. We will get you a 20K bootcamp account. You're gonna get an email with a link, and then with that link, you can redeem your account. Please, everyone who has won a previous giveaway, I know you're super excited. It's awesome to win an account, and I know you're super excited to start trading that account right away. You have to give it a few days for the team to get the link set up and get the account set up, and for me to send it out. So please, whatever you do, do not send a message to support. You can send me an email directly to trading room at the5ers.com if you have any questions. And at this point, I would say give it up to a week until you have that email. If you have not gotten an email within a week, then send an email to me and I'll figure it out for you. All right, that's it. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed for that person. Well, this will be the first seed of a, torrent of profits coming in.
Alfred, I did get your email.
Just add that since I'm back and it will be a lot faster. Make sure, Taba, make sure you just got with that email address. Make sure you already got that set up with the 5ers account on the hub, and I'll just put hub credits in. I'll just put hub credits. You can go and just pay for it that way. That would be easier.
Great. So we did hub credits in the past, but then for some reason we started sending out an email with a link. Redeem an account.
Yep.
But I think I actually, if it's possible, now I can't promise anything here, guys, but if it's possible, I would love to talk to the team and see if we can go back to actually using the credits, because then that would be more meaningful, because then people could use that credit for another account if they wish. Maybe they want to use that credits to buy a more expensive account.
Yep.
So I would love to go back, because this has been a request as well from the comments here. So if we can, we'll go back to that process. All right, perfect, guys. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and let's set up some fun predictions as well for this Wednesday.
For sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go.
I will be on the Discord in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. We'll have a workshop, as we do every weekday, basically. So I invite anyone who is part of our community to join us. And if you're not part of the community yet, make sure you do become a part of, right? And how do you do that? It's by having an account with the 5ers, right? It doesn't even have to be a valid account anymore. Once you get in and you have your hub, your dashboard, from there, you can get access to the Discord community. So
you don't even have to have an account.
Well, I mean, a trading account that is still active, right? So even if you lose the account, you will still maintain access to the Discord community. That's what I wanted to say. So just by buying an account with the 5ers, will give access to us, to the Discord, and that's where the invitation is for today. So I'll be there, and I hope to see you guys there as well.
And also, recently we've sent out a form in Discord where people answered a few questions, and they got rewarded with 25 hub credits, and that's the things that are happening within the Discord server. So you want to be in the Discord server, don't miss out. Education, hub credits, all fun stuff. All right, take care, goodbye, see you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here at the 5ers. We'll see you in the next one.